The Stockton and Darlington Railway was a railway company that operated in northeast England from 1825 to 1863. It was created by George Stephenson, and his first steam train that was built by his son Robert Stephenson and Company, and it was called Locomotion Number 1. I understand it originally had a name called Active, but was later renamed Locomotion. On September 27th, 1825, Locomotion Number 1 became the world's first steam locomotive to carry passengers on a public line, the Stockton and Darlington Railway in northeast England, United Kingdom. Locomotion Number 1 was built by George Stephenson at his son Robert's company, the Robert Stephenson and Company. Whilst George was the first person to drive the train, it pulled a train with 450 passengers at a speed of 15 miles per hour. George Stephenson, who was born on the 9th of June 1781 and died on the 12th of August 1848, was a self-made mechanical engineer. He's largely credited with building the first railway and becoming the godfather of the railways. He actually created the rail gauge of 4 feet 8.5 inches, which became the global standard gauge for most of the world's railways. And whilst it was acknowledged that the early steam locomotives that were built by people like George Stephenson could pull train loads of coal from the collieries at Shildon in County Durham, they could only do that if the ground was relatively flat. If they encountered a hill, then the locomotives struggled to pull the train wagons full of coal up the hill, and therefore a solution was needed. The original alignment of the Stockton and Darlington Railway ran for 25 miles from Phoenix Pit at Witton Park Colliery near Bishop Auckland to Cottage Row in Stockton. During its first 3 months, 10,000 tonnes of coal was carried to Darlington and Stockton. A little over 18,500 tonnes arrived for shipment from Stockton in the 12 months to June 1827, together with around 35,000 passengers. Whilst the greater portion of the line was operated by steam locomotives, stationary engines were required in engine houses, which hauled the wagons up the Etherley and Brusselton Inclines at the western end. This drone video is of the Brusselton Incline, and the stones would have once held the rails which the train, or the locomotive, and the coal wagons would have ridden on. And where the houses are now would have been where the engine master's house was for the stationary engine, and also the stationary steam engine, which they then used ropes to attach to the locomotives pulling the coal wagons up the hill. This enabled the haulage of the coal from the coal fields at Shildon, County Durham, through to Stockton and then Darlington. The stationary double engine, which was based at Brusselton Incline, was the first 60 horsepower double engine to be built at George Stephenson's works in Newcastle. And despite the demands on it were high, but back in 1831 a replacement 80 horsepower engine was delivered from R&H Hawthorne. On the 6th of September 1839, it hauled 904 wagons up the incline, loaded with 2,120 tonnes of coal. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button, giving it a share, or hitting the subscribe button and putting your bell notifications on. This channel is mainly about travel, air travel, trains and history, or anything else I find interesting when I'm out on my travels in the UK and abroad. You could also consider joining this channel as a member and to get perks, which you'll find links for on my page and also on my live streams. All that remains of the Brusselton Incline today, and obviously thanks to the Brusselton Incline Restoration Group, as you can see on the drone video, is 2 lines of stones which run pretty much from Shildon right the way through to Brusselton and beyond, and they've exposed a section of track which you can visit and park up next to for free. Doesn't cost you anything to do so if you're in the area. It's near the village of Brusselton, which you'll find on Google or Waze. And basically the incline played a pivotal role in the success of the Stockton and Darlington Railway. It enabled the efficient movement of coal and paved the way for widespread use and adoption of steam locomotives, or steam trains if you like. The incline's reign was relatively short-lived, and it was abandoned when the Shildon Tunnel to West Auckland opened in 1856. As well as the incline, there's also an old Georgian bridge there, which you can see on the drone video. It has steps leading up to the top of it, so that the owner of the nearby farm could safely access his land north of the track by passing underneath the incline. So if you do want to come and visit this place, you can find Brusselton on a map. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. You want to go there on a nice day so you can see it easily without getting wet. And you can see the road next to it. Try not to park in the middle of it because there are houses at the top of the road where people unconnected to the incline now live. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button.